Good evening, friends. This is CV Sharma, back with another video series on significant figures and errors. So this comprises of the physics, the 11th physics as per the NCERT, and for the JEE NEET, this BITSAT as well as NSET, and then any other competitive examinations. And here I give you the entire notes so that you can pause the video and then you can stop it and then you can note it down if you wish. And you can always contact me, and my email address will be given in the description, and then you can very well contact me for this notes. Okay, once the chapters are getting over, then I'll pass on the notes. Once if you once you give me an email, and then or you can represent yourself in the comment section, and I will certainly send you the notes. This is what I wish to tell you. And now let's move on to the concept of significant figures. Significant figures. What are these significant figures? So here we go. So here the significant figures, they will suggest. What do they suggest? So it tells us how much confident you are about the experimental measurement you have taken. It gives the significant figures will tell us the confidence limit. So it tells about how much confident we are about the how much confident we are regarding reporting some value, reporting some value of any experiment. Okay, if you conduct any experiment, so after conducting the experiment can be a very simple thing. Like even it can be like a measuring with a scale. Okay, so measurement of a length of a line with a scale, that is also an experiment. So like this, we'll consider even a simple things like taking weight of some object. So that is also a kind of measurement. So I'm just giving an example. So what do the significant figures indicate? They indicate the precision of measurement. It depends upon the least count of the measuring instrument. What is this least count? So let's check this one. I will tell you the example where you will pick up so fast. So let us consider a scale. So in the scale, let us consider it is a 15 centimeter scale. And in the 15 centimeter scale, it starts from 0 here and you have 1 over here. And in between, you have some 10 divisions are there. And these 10 divisions, each division will represent 1 millimeter. So what is the least count? It says that what is the minimum value of the measurement you can do with the instrument. Minimum value of measurement one can do with the given instrument. Okay, given instrument. So that's called a least count. So here it tells about the precision of measurement and depends upon the least count of the measuring instrument. Precision refers to how many, up to what decimal you are confident that. So that is something like that. So this is the basic idea of the significant figures. Okay. So the precision and accuracy, that we'll discuss those aspects later. So let us move on to the next part. So what are the rules of determining the number of significant figures? So that is discussed over here. All the non-zero digits are significant. So if you have something like 15678 contains 5 significant figures, that's the example you can see. All zeros between 2 non-zero digits are significant. No matter where the decimal point is, it doesn't matter what is the position of the decimal point. All zeros between the two non-zero digits are significant. So you have 108.006 like this, it is given. You see this between 8 and 6, these zeros are there, that those are also significant. So 108.006, they contain 6 significant figures. So you see these are 3, and he's talking about the zero between, this zero is between 1 and 8. So that is also significant. And these two zeros are between 8 and 6. So that these two zeros also count, and that those two are also significant. So 108.006 is the example what is taken over here, and it contains 6 significant figures. Okay, it contains 6 significant figures, because between 8 and 6, these two zeros are there, those are all significant. That is what it is conveyed in this particular point. And between 1, there is a zero between 1 and 8. 1 and 8 are non-zero numbers, and this zero is in between these two non-zero numbers. So this zero is also significant digit. So that is the basic idea from the first 2 points. Let us take the third point. If the number is less than 1, that means if the number is less than, any number is less than 1 refers to it's a proper fraction. Okay, proper fraction. So if it is a proper fraction, they start like 0 point something. Like this they will be. Like how the numbers will look like. Less than 1 will be like 0.7, 0.5, 0.8. All these numbers are less than 1. Okay, there are proper fractions. If you have any proper fraction, so in that situation, we are saying this. The zeros on the right of the decimal point, okay, the zeros on the right of the decimal point, but to the left of first non-zero digit are not significant. So zeros on the right of the decimal point. So you can see this. The zeros on the right of the decimal point. These are right of the decimal point. This is left of the decimal point. This is on the left. These are the zeros on the right. These are not significant. Not significant. These doesn't carry any kind of significance. These zeros will not count inside the significant figures. So this is what you have to understand. And again, this 2308 will become only significant. So you have left the first non-zero digit are not significant. So before 2308, whatever the zeros are coming, they are not significant. So basically, so the underlined zeros are not significant. So this is what it says. So here, these are the underlined zeros. These are not significant. Okay. And now, so basically, this contains only 4 significant figures. So once you express in the scientific notation, you will understand the significant figures very, very easily. So that is what the idea was to tell you. Next, all zeros to the right of the non-zero digit tailing zeros in the number without a decimal point are not significant unless they come from the experiment. Thus, 123 meters, if you write 123 meters, 12300 centimeter, 123 000 mm has the 3 significant figures. So I hope you understood this one. These zeros without decimal point, these zeros, they are not significant. Only 1, 2, 3 are the significant. So, but to avoid this confusion only, we will approach a scientific notation. Okay. These 3 contains only 3 significant figures. Okay. The tailing zeros are not significant. But if these are obtained from the measurement, they are significant. If these zeros are obtained from the measurement, then only they are significant. Otherwise, they are not significant. Now, let us move on to the next part. The tailing zeros in a number with the decimal point are significant. Suppose you have this scenario. Let us consider this scenario. What does this mean actually? 3.500. So listen to this carefully. So it means that 3.5, I'm confident up to this. I'm putting these 2 zeros. It means that after 5 after the decimal. This is the first decimal, second and third. No, up to these 3 decimals. Okay, I am confident that only these 3 numbers will fall. And after this, I'm not sure. After this, I am not sure about this. That's what we are trying to tell. If I take the, what does this mean? If I take the measurement any number of times, it doesn't matter. I am going to get this value up to this. And it is the 4th decimal. This is the 4th decimal. It is changing. That's what we want to tell. It's the 4th decimal which is fluctuating. And up to 3 decimals, it is not fluctuating. So I can say that this contains 4 significant figures. So that is the idea. So this, you can consider this one 0.6900. No, this one 0.06900. So if you write, these 4 are the significant figures. These are not at all. So 6900, I am sure about that. It says that I am sure that 6900 will definitely come. And after this, whatever the decimal is coming, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 5 decimals. I'm confident. It says that I can say that I am confident while giving the value up to these 5 decimals. Okay, up to these 5 decimals. And if I go up to 6th decimal in this particular case, if I go up to 6th decimal, that is fluctuating, and I'm not sure. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So this is what the significant digits will tell. And after this, I'm not sure. So that is what I am telling. That is what is confidence limit. My confidence limit breaks down after that. So this, when do I see this happening, sir? Yes, you can ask me that question. Suppose recently these days we are seeing some electronic balance, right? Electronic balance is what we are seeing. On the electronic balance, if you press it at the milligram level, then you would see this kind of fluctuations all the time. So when you go up to the 4th decimal, right? The electronic balances, even right now, the electronic balances are going up to the microgram level. So when you fix it at the milligram level and then start taking the measurement weights, your 4th decimal or the 5th decimal, depending upon the structure and then the electronics what is used in the balance, there will be fluctuation in the last decimals. Okay, at the 4th or 5th decimal, you will be uncertain about that weight. So suppose like you have 35.32 milligram, suppose. So if I report this value, I'm sure about 35.32. You will be getting, I'm just telling an example, you may be getting 35.32, 7, 8. Suppose it is fluctuating between 7 and 8. So I will represent 32.32 only. I will not represent whether it is 7 or 8. So this fluctuation can happen 7 or 8. And it can have a fluctuation between 5, 7, 8, something like this. It can happen. This is a practical problem. So, but every time I take the measurement, this 32.32 is coming. But this 5, 7, 8, these are fluctuating. So omit this 5, 7, 8 which are coming up over there and report up to 35.32. And that's what is my confidence. And that's why 35.32, you have that 4 significant figures which are telling your confidence limit. So I hope you are clear about this significant figure concept, right? Next, so the next, now note the choice and change of different units does not change the number of significant figures or figures in the measurement. This is very important point. Again, I'll read. Note that the choice of change of different units. If I change the units, whether significant figures will change? No, they are not going to change. Their significant figures are not going to change if I change the units. Okay, okay, or the no, the choice and change of different unit does not change the number of significant digits or figures in the measurement. So that is the idea. And now let us take up this example. The length here 2.308 centimeters has 4 significant figures. Okay, so it's understood. I'm confident up to this 3 decimals. The 4th decimal I'm not confident. So 2.308, 4 significant figures. But in different units, the same value can be written as 0.02308 meters and 23.8 mm. All these numbers, observe this, all these numbers, they have the same number of significant figures. Why? See, these zeros are insignificant. And you see this zero, which is coming in between the non-zero numbers, that is becoming significant all the time. So all these cases, you have only 4 significant figures. 4 significant figures. Okay, I hope you got the idea. So it shows that the location of the decimal point does not matter in determining the number of significant figures. Okay, location of the decimal point does not. So in order to avoid, so there might be some confusions you might be arising. So in order to remove this ideology of determining significant figures, it has given a lot of confusions for the people, for the newcomers to start with. That's why they have brought a kind of thing called scientific notation. We'll be discussing very short. What is that scientific notation? So that will avoid all the confusions. Okay. So it doesn't matter whatever the units you are going to change. It doesn't matter. So if the length is 500 mm and we don't know the least count of the measuring instrument, then we can't be sure the last digit zeros are significant or not. See, so if I don't know, if I just write this 500 mm, whether how many significant figures are there. So please remember this, unless I express with some decimal, unless I express with a decimal, I'm not sure of the significant figures. Of course, that is what is unless I express with a decimal, not sure of significant figures. Not sure of significant figures. So when you are taking a measurement, this is applicable when you are taking a measurement. Please understand that when you are taking the measurement, you're supposed to give with the decimal. Okay, then that only will tell how confident you are. Okay, so if I just say that 500 mm and we don't know the least count of the instrument, measuring instrument. Suppose I have, what is this one is like, I have taken a 1 meter scale. It contains only centimeter division and I don't have mm divisions at all. No mm division at all. And suppose this I have taken the measurement and this is, let us say this is 500 mm and this rod has come just close to 500 mm and it's not fully covered that particular division. Assume that. And then I noted 500 mm. Whether I'm confident? No, definitely not. I'm not confident of giving that 500 mm as the reading. That's why that least count of the instrument, whatever the instrument I have taken to take the measurement, I'm not sure about the least count of that instrument. Okay, now because the divisions of mm are not there. So I'm not sure about what is the measurement. Approximately I have given a value. That's called an approximate value. Approximately I have given a value 500 mm. It will be long. But I'm not sure whether it's really 500 mm or not. So that kind of very critically, the significant figures will analyze the measurement very critically. So I'm just expressing that in the in here or there with the ideas what I have. So, so unless you give this decimal and express in scientific notation, you are not sure of how many significant figures you have. And how good is your value? Significant figures is like how good is your value. And next, to avoid this, we have this something called scientific notation. If the scale had marking only at each meter, then the 5 can be obtained by eye approximation. This is what I was trying to tell you. Okay. So only 5 significant figure, but if the markings are at each centimeter, then only 50, only 5 is the significant figure, if it is approximation. And then only 5 comma 0, if it is centimeter reading, 5 comma 0 will be significant. If the scale is used having the marking in millimeters, then all the digits 500 are significant. Okay. If at all you have taken the measurement including the millimeters. Okay. To remove this is the confusions what it will generate. To remove such ambiguities in determining the number of significant figures, the best way is to report every measurement in the scientific notation. Every number should be expressed in the form of a into 10 power b, where a is between 1 to 10 and b is any positive or negative power of 10, and the decimal is placed after the first digit. So this is called scientific notation. Okay, I hope it is clear. And now here, now the confusion mentioned above can be removed. Easily you can remove the confusion. So let us say this is 4.7 meters. So 4.700 meters, like this is given, 4.700 into 10 square centimeter. You can write like this. 4.770 into 10 cube mm. These powers of 10 are not going to add up in the significant figures. Powers of 10 are not going to hamper the significant digits. Okay. So this is the idea on which we work on. So once you express in scientific notation, everything is clear. So it's pretty simple that this is 4 significant figures, 4 everywhere 4. So the powers of 10 are not going to hamper the number of significant digits. So this is the idea what you can keep in mind. Okay. So let's move on. Here, power of 10 is irrelevant to the determination of significant figures. So that is the idea. Once again, I will read this. Here, the power of 10 is irrelevant to the determination of significant figures. So hence the idea. So let's move on to the next part. Significant figure in algebraic operation. So while doing an algebra, only one thing you have to remember in this entire thing. See, any algebra operation means either you add, you subtract, or you multiply, or you divide something. Only thing which you have to understand is that always express the least significant figures. Okay. So why it is so? I'll explain that why it is so. Always you have to express the least number of significant figures while doing this job. So why it is like this? So let us see. In multiplication or division, the number of significant digits in the final result should be equal to the number of significant digits in the quantity which has the minimum number of significant digits. So this is the idea I want to tell you. So why it is like this? Why it is like this? So let us consider this example. What we see, if the mass of an object is measured 4.237, so it contains 4 significant digits. Okay, significant digits. Fine. So it contains 4 significant digits, right? And its volume is measured as 2.51. This contains 3. So what does this mean? It means that I am confident up to 4 digits here. This means that I am confident up to 3 digits. Okay. So three significant figures means these three digits, 2.51, I am confident. And now I want to measure the density of a material, which is mass by volume. So 4.237 divided by 2.57, I'm putting. So it's written 2.51 to 2.57. Okay, whatever. So here there is a print mistake. So it's at 2.57. So you obtained this value. Now let us analyze this. You are confident of four here, four numbers here, and you're confident of three numbers only here. And now ultimately, when I divide this one with this one, my confidence level has dropped down to 3. That's what my confidence level has dropped down to 3 significant figures. Why? Here my confidence is only up to 3. Here my confidence is here my confidence is up to 4. But ultimately my confidence drops down to 3 because once I divide, if suppose this is having 4, this is having 4, then my confidence level is up to 4, no problem. But here my confidence is up to 4 numbers, here my confidence is up to 3 numbers. So my confidence drops down. So that is the idea. That is the reason why you end up with the least number of significant figures. Whichever the quantity is having least number of significant figures, that only you have to report at the end. So that is the idea, basic idea here. The theory is given here. But it should be, now you see that 3 significant figures only. So the density you will write 1.65. How do we write this 1.65? See, this number 8 is more than 5. So this 4 can be rounded up to 5. So 486, that is close to 5. So this entire thing will be made to 5. 1.65 gram per cc is what the measurement reported over here. Now let us move on further. So in addition or subtraction, the final result should retain as many decimal places as there are in the number with the least decimal place. So this is the idea while doing the addition and subtraction. So here we go. Suppose we had to find out the sum of the numbers 436.32, which is having 5 significant figures, and you see the number of decimal places, that is 2, and 227.2 is having 4 significant figures, and it is having number of decimal places, that is only 1, and this is having 3 decimal places, but significant figures are 3. By arithmetic addition, so when we add, so when you take the addition, you get 663.821 is what you get. Now what is the thing it says? But the least precise measurement is this much. 227.2 is the least precise measurement. That means we are not confident of any decimals after the second and third. So is correct only up to 1 decimal place. So that is 1 we are telling. So the final result should be rounded off to only 1 decimal place. So this 21 will go off. 663.8 only will come into the picture. So the subtraction also will follow the same kind of rule. So let us analyze this further. We have some more questions. Okay. Suppose we have to round off to 3 significant digits of 154.62. So we had to, this is having 5 significant figures. We had to round it off to 3 significant figures. So after first take the first 3, this is 154, and then 62 is there. The 6 is more than that of 5. So add 1 to this 4. So that becomes 155.00. Let's read this. In 154.62, third significant digit is 4. Okay, right. The digit is to be rounded. Okay, the digit next to it is 6, which is greater than that of 5. Okay. The third digit should therefore be increased by 1. The digits to be dropped should be replaced by zeros. Okay, because they appear to the left of the decimal point. Thus, 154.62 becomes 155.00 on rounding of 3 significant figures. So this is the idea what I want to inculcate. Now let us move on to the next question. The next question, round off the following numbers through to 3 significant digits. So this is the question what is asked. So let us observe this. The third significant digit here, is, you see, 7. Okay, 14.745 in that third significant digit is 7. The number next to it is less than 5. So 14.745, this 45 will leave this. Okay, becomes 14.7 on rounding of 3 significant digits. So this is the basic idea. The next is 14.750 is given. 14.750 will become 14.8. Why? Because the digit to be rounded off is odd. Okay, if this digit is rounded off to be odd and the digit next to it is 5. Digit next to it is 5. So you can add 1 to this and then you can make it to 14.8. Okay, I hope it is clear. Because this is 7 and which is odd. I hope it is clear. And now let us consider the next scenario. This is very, very important. So here, let us say this is 10 power 12. So this digits of the powers of 10 will not come into the picture while solving the significant figures. So you have 14.650 is there. 14.650 is there. And now this 6 is even number. Okay, 14.650 into 10 power 12 is there. 10 power 12 will not come in terms, will not hamper the number of significant figures. So 14.6 only will leave. Why? Because this 6 is even and this number is just 5. So you should not raise this. So because the digit to be rounded is even and the digit next to it is 5. So that's the reason we leave it like 14.6. So these are the fundas with examples I explained here. And after this, what we're going to discuss is error analysis. So I hope it is clear. And next, what we're going to do is error analysis. And thank you all. Thanks for watching the video.